Today in Crypto. In the last installment of New Kids on the Block, we covered the ins and outs of now one of the most recognizable art-driven NFTs on the market today. We're diving into Flowty, a peer-to-peer lending platform built around Flow blockchain-based NFTs. This recurring series takes a deep dive into lesser-known, high-potential projects across a variety of spaces. Ever want to loan out your NFT for some short-term liquidity? Or perhaps you wanted to earn some passive income and have a Flow-based NFT that you'd take as collateral? Let's jump into what Flowty is, why it's important, and the role this project can have in the broader crypto market. Looking for short-term liquidity without selling your Flow-based NFT? This is the gap that Flowty is aiming to fill. The platform had an initial announcement back in June, and has since been providing some more details around what will encompass Flowty upon launch. The platform was created by a two-man team, Michael Levy and Guillaume Hewitt, half finance and half blockchain and web specialist. Levy and Hewitt have come together out of full-fledged love for Top Shot and the Flow ecosystem. When Flowty comes to life, NFT owners on Flow-based blockchains will be able to be paired with lenders interested in generating passive income utilizing the NFTs as collateral. Accordingly, lenders can fund a loan and upon maturity, receive the original loan plus interest, or the underlying NFT. It's a crossover of the deep financial landscape of DeFi and the creative and art-driven world of NFTs, a true crypto conglomerate. The platform has said that security, transparency, and UI/U.X are top priorities. There is no set launch date at present time, according to the platform's current landing site. Related reading: Elon Musk reveals how much he owns of Dogecoin rival Shiba Inu. The Flow ecosystem continues to grow with new partnerships and platforms. In recent months, Flow creators Dapper Labs found a premier partner with Google, began building initiatives to scale operations and investments in DAOs with a new acquisition, and secured deals with some of the biggest leagues in sports including the NFL, the WNBA, and La Liga. NFT platforms for those sports leagues are expected to launch within the next 6 to 8 months. Of course, with Dapper Labs behind the wheel, it's safe to say that those marketplaces will be operating on Flow, just like Top Shot has thus far. Indeed, it's partnerships like these that the team at Flowty has cited as reasoning behind Flow being the blockchain of the future. Additionally, Flow has worked with massive names in technology and entertainment, including Samsung, Ubisoft, and Warner Music Group. And while sports has been a major pillar for the Flow blockchain, other notable IP, such as Drive Seuss, has been leveraged on Flow. Additionally, Flow was the chain of choice for one of the origins of NFTs, CryptoKitties. All this to say that Flow's investment and integration in the NFT landscape thus far makes it a prime blockchain for a tool like Flowty. The Flow blockchain distinguishes itself from the marketplace through 4 main pillars. The Flow community also makes available a variety of open-source tools for developers. Finally, arguably the most applicable piece of the pie for products like Flowty is the broader Flow community. Flow's ecosystem prides itself as being a connector for software developers, content creators, and everyday consumers. Where will things land for Flowty? It's impossible to say at such an early stage, but the potential is present, especially as the NFT landscape continues through its early growth stages. Related reading: Why City is slowly building a crypto infrastructure, CEO says. Recent reports show that Bitcoin mining uses great amounts of renewable energy due to economic incentives. This turn of events raised their numbers of sustainable power mix to almost 3 times higher than the world average. As renewable energy offers low costs, Bitcoin miners, who had to spend 42% of their total income to purchase electricity, have upscaled their efficient use of green energy. A recent data review shows how their mix of sustainable energy is higher than any country or industry. Renewable energy is not flexible and their locations do not tend to be convenient for most people. As Bitcoin miners move close to sources of energy to lower the costs, they are a viable solution to not waste the sustainable energy that otherwise would be deployed, as explained by CoinShares. According to a survey carried by the Bitcoin Mining Council, BMC, the electricity mix used by Bitcoin miners increased 3% from second quarter to an approximate of 57, 7% sustainable in third quarter 2021, making it one of the most sustainable industries globally. MicroStrategy's CEO Michael Saylor had stated earlier that the Bitcoin Mining Council's effort to bring clarity and transparency over Bitcoin mining will most likely play an important role in demystifying the industry. Furthermore, a white paper by the Bitcoin Clean Energy Initiative from earlier this year had explained how Bitcoin mining, when using renewable energy, is especially suited to accelerate the energy transition towards a cleaner electricity grid. With Bitcoin mining integrated into a solar system, energy providers, whether utilities or independent entities, would have the ability to play the arbitrage between electricity prices and Bitcoin prices, as well as potentially sell the surplus solar and supply almost all grid power demands without lowering profitability. Digiconomist data shows that China's ban of all Bitcoin mining activities dropped the total amount of active computational power in the network by 50%. The reduction of mining competition also generated higher levels of income for active miners worldwide. Torbjørn, Jenssen, CEO of Arcane, commented earlier, as China is turning away from Bitcoin mining, the mining industry as a whole is becoming increasingly green and a driver for renewable energy around the world. Now is excellent timing for Arcane to enter into this segment. Mining is a very interesting business standalone, and it also has considerable synergies towards our other investments in business. I am looking forward to finalizing the strategy for Arcane Green Data and presenting it in more detail for our partners and investors. Related reading: is China considering lifting the Bitcoin mining ban? The NDRC runs public survey in a wider panorama of energy usage by Bitcoin miners. Square funds a solar-powered facility for Bitcoin mining. El Salvador explores the viability of using volcanic renewable power for mining Bitcoin, and other countries propose economic incentives for Bitcoin miners who use renewable energy. Related reading: vertical bar Jack Dorsey, Square could build Bitcoin mining system. CoinShare stated in June's report that Bitcoin's network is more renewables-driven than almost every other large-scale industry in the world. Bitcoin price started a downside correction from well above $64,000 against the US dollar. BTC could extend its decline below the $60,000 support in the near term. Bitcoin price tried to clear the $64,000 resistance level. However, BTC failed to gain strength and started a fresh decline. The bears gained strength and were able to push the price below the $62,500 support zone. The price even settled below the $62,000 level in the 100-hourly simple moving average. A low is formed near $59,824 and the price is now struggling to stay in a positive zone. It is testing the 23.6% fib retracement level of the recent decline from the $63,700 swing high to $59,824 low. It is currently facing resistance near the $60,800 and $61,000 levels. The first major resistance is near the $61,750 level and the 100-hourly SMA. The 50% fib retracement level of the recent decline from the $63,700 swing high to $59,824 low is also near $61,800. The main breakout resistance is now forming near the $62,000 level. There is also a crucial bearish trend line forming with resistance near $62,300 on the hourly chart of the BTC/USD pair. A clear break above the trend line resistance and then $62,500 may possibly call open the doors for a move towards the $63,200 level. The next major resistance sits near the $64,000 level. If Bitcoin fails to clear the $62,000 resistance zone, it could continue to move down. An immediate support on the downside is near the $60,000 level. The first major support is now forming near the $59,500 level. A break below the $59,500 support may possibly push the price towards the $58,000 support zone in the near term. Technical indicators: hourly MACD. The MACD is slowly gaining pace in the bearish zone. Hourly RSI, Relative Strength Index, the RSI for BTC/USD is now below the 50 level. Major support levels: $60,000, followed by $59,500. Major resistance levels $61,200, $62,000 and $62,300. Robinhood shares, Nasdaq Hood, have fallen sharply on the back of the firm's Q3 results, which posted lower than expected crypto trading revenue. The popular retail trading firm published its Q3 report on October 26, with crypto accounting for $51 million, 19%, of the total $267 million worth of transaction-based revenue in the quarter. Continue reading on Cointelegraph. ETF issuers are getting creative with two new filings for inverse and leveraged funds. Exchange-traded fund issuer Direxion has filed for a product that would enable speculators to buy contracts that short the price of Bitcoin. In a filing made to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission on October 26, the company unveiled the Direxion Bitcoin Strategy Bear ETF. Like other futures products, it will not invest directly in BTC, but will instead maintain managed short exposure position contracts issued by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, CME. Direxion stated that the fund may invest in other BTC futures, money market funds, deposit accounts, or short-term debt instruments. However, the firm did issue a dire warning that the value of the product could go to zero. Bloomberg senior ETF analyst Eric Balcoon has described it as an inverse Bitcoin ETF. He reported that the company already has a 1x BTC futures ETF in Canada called Bitty, adding, while it's gotten pretty wrecked, when it works, as Bitcoin tends to sell off fast. Inverse Bitcoin ETF. Direxion just filed for a 1x Bitcoin futures ETF, which will seek to be short front-month Bitcoin futures, basically the $14 of $BITO. This comes mere hours after the first levered Bitcoin ETF was filed. pic.twitter.com/BN2M7PIS5 Direxion originally filed for a Bitcoin ETF in 2018, but it ended up in the queue with all of the others that the SEC had delayed at the time. Bloomberg reported that on October 26, Valkyrie filed for a leveraged BTC futures ETF that will offer 1,25x exposure to the asset. If approved, it will trade under the ticker BTFX and can hold futures, swaps, options, and forwards. Not everyone was impressed with the minimal leverage available, with use of Andalay BTC referring to a Zoolander meme to throw shade. 1,25x? What is this? Leverage for ants? Related, too popular. Bitcoin futures ETF in danger of hitting upper limit for contracts. Commenting on the creative new futures products being proposed at the moment, ETF Store President Nate Geraci said that there will be more of these types of filings in ETH futures before a spot product wins approval. As if in response to the bearish product proposal, Bitcoin prices have retreated 6% over the past 24 hours to trade at $60,787 at the time of writing. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.